Tyler Hadley, at just 17 years old, he was battling with depression, anger, and a growing obsession with drugs. Friends noticed changes in him. His weight dropped, his behavior became erratic, and his eyes always carried a certain emptiness. He often complained about his parents, saying they never let him do anything, that they controlled every part of his life. By July 2011, his frustration had reached a breaking point. Tyler wanted something his parents had repeatedly refused him. He wanted to throw a party at the house. For weeks, he told friends it was going to happen, but no one believed him. After all, his parents were strict, and the idea of them allowing a party seemed impossible. Yet, Tyler wasn't asking anymore, he was planning. He hinted at it on social media, posting cryptic messages like "party at my place soon." Some of his friends brushed it off as a joke, but others felt something darker behind his words. On the evening of July 16, 2011, Tyler stayed inside the Hadley home with his parents. Nobody knew what was about to unfold. Neighbors saw nothing unusual, but inside those walls, Tyler was preparing for a night that would shock the entire nation. He had already hidden a hammer in the house earlier that day, keeping it ready for what he planned to do. He first targeted his mother, Mary Jo. She was working on the family computer in the master bedroom. Without warning, Tyler came up from behind her and struck her repeatedly with the hammer. She didn't have time to defend herself. The blows landed on her head and upper body until she collapsed. Hearing the noise, his father, Blake, rushed toward the bedroom. Tyler then turned the hammer on him. Blake tried to fight back, but Tyler continued striking until his father also fell to the floor. Investigators later confirmed that both parents had suffered multiple blunt force injuries to the head and face. Tyler delivered dozens of strikes in total, making sure neither of them could survive. After killing his parents, Tyler Hadley started preparing the house as if nothing had happened. He dragged their dead body into the master bedroom and covered them with towels, papers, and books to hide the scene. Even the family dog was locked inside a closet, so no one would notice anything unusual. Once that was done, Tyler moved to the next part of his plan, throwing a party. He posted on Facebook, "Party at my house. Don't tell anyone. Serious." At first, his friends thought it was just another one of his weird jokes. But as the night went on, people actually started showing up. By around 9 p.m., more than 20 teenagers were inside his house. Music was blasting, people were drinking, smoking, and laughing. For them, it was just another summer night. But for Tyler, it was something else entirely, a way to hide the truth in plain sight. As the party grew, people started noticing strange things. There were red stains on the floor that looked like blood, but Tyler quickly brushed it off, saying it was just a spilled drink. Someone complained about a strange smell in the house, and Tyler told them it was just trash. Every time someone questioned, he had an excuse ready. Soon the party exploded. Nearly 60 people packed the house, filling the living room, kitchen, and even the backyard. Nobody could imagine that just a few feet away in the locked bedroom, his parents' dead body lay hidden. The most disturbing part was Tyler himself. He walked around calmly, laughing, making jokes, taking shots, and blending in with everyone else. But at moments, he couldn't resist dropping hints. He would ask his friends, "Do you guys know what I did today?" Most people laughed, thinking he was just high or messing around. But later in the night, Tyler pulled one of his close friends aside and whispered the truth. "I killed my parents." At first, his friend didn't believe him. Tyler then told him to check the master bedroom. When his friend looked, he saw the reality with his own eyes, the truth Tyler had been hiding all night. Shock spread quickly among those who found out, but surprisingly, many people still stayed at the party. Some were frozen in disbelief, others thought it was impossible, while a few were simply too curious. And through it all, Tyler kept partying, acting as if everything was normal, as if nothing had happened. By the early hours of the morning, the party had turned into pure chaos. Teenagers were dancing, shouting, and breaking things inside the house. Beer bottles and cigarette butts were everywhere. But beneath the noise and laughter, There was a darker reality that only a few people knew. Tyler Hadley's parents were lying dead in the next room. Some of the guests started to realize Tyler wasn't joking. He was too calm, too casual for someone who had just committed something so terrible. A few whispered to each other, questioning whether the story could be true. But Tyler didn't hide it anymore. At different moments, he repeated the same chilling words, "I killed my parents." One of his friends finally confronted him, asking why he would do something like that. Tyler's answer was cold and simple. He said his parents wouldn't let him throw a party. That was his reason. The mood in the house started to shift. Some guests left quietly, not wanting to believe what they had just heard. Others stayed, still treating it like a normal party, too drunk or too numb to face the truth. But for those who saw the scene with their own eyes, there was no denying it anymore. Around 4 a.m., one of Tyler's closest friends finally decided it had gone too far. He slipped out of the house and made a call to Crime Stoppers, reporting what Tyler had done. By this point, the party was still going, music still blasting, but the walls were closing in on Tyler Hadley. He tried to act normal, but his mask was slipping. Some people noticed he looked paranoid, pacing around, checking the locked bedroom door again and again. It was as if he knew time was running out. Meanwhile, police had already been alerted. Quietly, they began circling the neighborhood, preparing to end the nightmare. Inside the house, 60 teenagers were still partying, unaware that the truth was about to crash down on them all. As dawn approached, the music was still loud, but the night was almost over. Tyler looked exhausted, his face pale, his eyes empty. Some of the guests had already left, but dozens still remained inside the house, stepping over trash and broken bottles without knowing they were standing in a crime scene. Outside, police officers gathered, waiting for the right moment. They had received enough tips, and now they were certain Tyler Hadley had killed his parents. Just after sunrise, the police moved in. They blocked off the street and approached the house. The party was finally over. Teenagers stumbled out, confused and shocked, as officers pushed through the crowd. Inside, they found Tyler. He didn't resist. He was calm, almost lifeless, as they placed him in handcuffs. Then the truth came into full view. In the locked master bedroom, officers discovered the bodies of Blake and Mary Jo Hadley. They had been brutally beaten to death with a hammer, which was later found hidden between them. The room was covered in blood. It was a horrifying scene, one that no one in the neighborhood could have imagined just hours earlier while kids laughed and drank inside the same house. News spread quickly. Neighbors woke up to flashing police lights and the sound of helicopters overhead. The story shocked not just the community of Port St. Lucie, Florida, but the entire nation. People struggled to understand how a 17-year-old boy could do something so unimaginable, all for the chance to throw a party. Tyler was arrested and later charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. In court, the details were even more disturbing. Prosecutors revealed how he had planned the killings, waited until his parents were home, and carried out the attack before inviting his friends over. In 2014, Tyler Hadley was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Today, he remains behind bars, serving his sentence. The case became one of the most infamous in American true crime history, a reminder of how quickly a teenage fantasy can turn into a nightmare, and how a house full of laughter and music was hiding one of the darkest secrets imaginable.